Hey there, Chris here with Dan, and we're here to talk about the new episode of Black Mirror, which I'm very jealous you've seen this week, Dan.
Yeah, it's the Christmas special entitled White Christmas.
So, I mean, for viewers who don't know what Black Mirror is, maybe, do you want to...
Yeah, so Black Mirror is a BBC, it's a British TV show created by Charlie Brooker. We've had some great actors over the years. Hayley Atwell's appeared on it. And what it is kind of offbeat satire. There's shades of Tales of the Unexpected, shades of the Twilight Zone. Very often they're set in the kind of touching distance future, and there's some kind of, well, as the title says, it's a bleak, dark reflection on current trends.
Yeah, and kind of where technology's taking us.
Yeah, technology is a recurrent theme, and technology dominates the Christmas special, which is a 90-minute episode.
And who's in this one? I think there's some star wattage.
Yeah, so there's Una Chapman, who a lot of people might know from Game of Thrones.
Yep.
It has Rafe Spall, British actor Rafe Spall, who's great, and also John Hamm. And it is a 90-minute episode, but in the great British tradition of portmanteau stories around Christmas, it's 3 stories with a framing narrative which focuses on John Hamm and Rafe Spall.
Okay, and can you tell us anything about the story?
I'm trying to dance around details.
Yeah.
Because I went to the screen and he said no spoilers, and I don't want to give any spoilers or many details at all, because so much of it is such a tight 90-minute drama, and there's a lot in it, and a lot of it kind of has consequences for other stories. So if I give away one part, it might spoil other stories. But in very loose terms, Rafe Spall and John Hamm wake up, and they're in this kind of remote outpost in kind of an Arctic tundra, and it seems like they've been there for 5 years, and they're breaking their silence on Christmas Day. John Hamm's cooking a traditional British Christmas dinner, and they start to chat about why they are there, and it all seems very bizarre and unexplained. You get no backstory, and then John Hamm says, well, if you're not going to tell me why you're here, I'll tell you why I'm here. And then cue flashback to his story, we have another story, and then we have Rafe's story.
Right. And how is John Hamm in the
John
episode?
Hamm's great. He's such a kind of presence in the drama, and he's a big fan of Black Mirror. He says it was at a Q&A I attended after the screening, and he's a big fan of like offbeat British TV and drama, and it's unlike most of the stuff he gets offered. You know, this is a Christmas special. It is set at Christmas. There's a lot of Christmas stuff. There's Christmas dinner, there's carols, and present giving, but it is the most bleak, harrowing, miserable take on Christmas you're likely to see this year.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
So again, it's really difficult. We're not getting into the details, but let me delve a little bit into a few of the details. So there's kind of the logical extrapolation of what Google Glass will be. So in all 3 stories, people have embedded contact lenses which change their perception of reality. And certain trends that you see in social media today, sort of blocking people, becomes a kind of recurrent theme in the drama, that you can block someone and afterwards they become just an outline. You can't see them, but that's as much as I want to get onto. But what is really clever is I thought they were all going to be like independent stories, you know, like a kind of an Amicus horror movie, and then maybe the frame would have something clever. But each story is more kind of interconnected to that than that. And over time you kind of go, and I really want to see it again. I would watch it again immediately after seeing it the first time, because I think there's a lot of clues and things to be paying attention to.
So it's potentially a new Christmas classic?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely something you would like get out every year and go, oh, this will get me ready for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't think it just appeals to misanthropic people, because I don't think it is misanthropic, because there's great character work in there. Yeah, it's not the happiest thing to watch at Christmas, but I think it's one of the best things you'll see this Christmas.
So it's as good as previous Black Mirrors then? Because
Definitely.
The standard's been pretty consistent, I think, all the way through. There's been hardly any duds, I don't think.
No, they're all really smart, and Charlie Brooker said this episode actually came together really quickly because he had that really neat 90-minute structure, and he had the framing device which he found really helpful. So it's very, I think it's slightly different. The closest episode it reminded me of was, I can't remember the name of the episode, but it's the one where you could replay memories.
And I think that's the one that they've sold the rights to Hollywood.
So Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
So that's the closest one, where it's like the integration of technology and human, and the consequences that has for all our social interactions. So it sounds quite lofty sci-fi stuff, but it's also really funny as well, as you'd expect with Charlie Brooker. It's like really dry.
Yeah.
curmudgeonly attitude to it.
Well, before I ask you for a score, did he say anything in the Q&A afterwards about maybe doing any more? Because obviously this is a one-off.
Yeah, well, I think they were kind of buoyed by the success and the kind of reception it's getting on Netflix, because it just went live in America on Netflix. A lot of people are finding it. Like my Twitter feed this week, people go, "Oh, have you seen this thing called Black Mirror?" It's like, yeah, I've been watching it for like 3 years.
Yeah.
I think so. I think Channel 4 are probably receptive to the attention it's getting. And they're getting, having John Hamm in it, and Ray Spall, and Una Chapman, that's, all big coups. Particularly John Hamm, to elevate the status of the show worldwide. He didn't say much, but he said hopefully there will be more.
Cool.
It's obviously something he enjoys doing a lot.
All right, have you got a score for it?
Yeah, I'm going to give it 8.5. I think it's great. I think it's one of the best things you'll be on British TV this Christmas.
Okay, well, make sure you tune in or catch up with it if you missed it when it went out live, or even check it out on Netflix. I don't know when it's appearing on US Netflix, but it should be sooner rather than
Hopefully,
later.
yeah.
Cool. Thanks for watching, and keep it tuned to IGN for all your TV needs.